Good afternoon. It is May the 1st, 2017, and we welcome May Day into the United States with riots from Infida or Infita or whatever you call those guys. So they are paid to do that, and they do their job pretty well when it comes to rioting. So that's how the left gets their way. Let's start with our usual disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. A mouthful. Okay, we came in this morning. Our buy recommendation was 80.82, and our sell recommendation was 91.89. Our call was for a trading range. Wouldn't break it out, wouldn't break it down. And I think that's pretty good information, looking back on it in hindsight. Good trades off this level. Trades down to there, big retest failure, which is the preferred trade now in the E-mini. Little head and shoulders, retest failure, no worse than a scratch. Triple top, positive. Got some help from the news right there. Trump said they might break up the big banks. This B rallies up, so pretty good trading in the E-mini when it was all said and done, if you took our setups and if you worked the edges. Two big ifs, I know. Looking at the F1 screen on the E-mini, looks like it's going to try to trade higher. Looking at F2, two distributions up, so not going to be too hard to get up to 23.94, 24.01. So the market were to close right here, we're selling failure to take out 90.91. 94.96. On the buy side, we're buying 84.86. Think we're going to try to trade higher. Then back to our 80.82. So 80.85 support, 90.95 resistance where we are. Tomorrow's news is motor vehicle sales. And the FOMC meeting starts, and that tends to freeze the markets. No change is expected in Fed policy on Wednesday. Current policy, in effect, probably hawkish language on the announcement on Wednesday. We're at the top of the trading range. So far it's held. If we don't get up and early tomorrow morning, and it'll set up a sell to test the bottom of the trading range, which is 75. Higher low, higher high. We're in the trading range right now. We have a seller at 24.28, which is where we identified it, but we do have a higher low, higher high. A lot of it will be dependent upon the E-mini. A B. A lot of it was tied to what was going on in the E-mini today. So the bottom of the trading range, our 8 to 12 area that we'd identified, held up today, and here we find ourselves at 15. So there's a seller 24 to 28, there's a buyer 8 to 12, and we're at 16 on the bottom end of the range. This profile volume wise is leaning sell, so 19 to 23 sell 1, 27.31 sell 2. On the buy side, 5 to 9 by 1. 29 to 01 by 2. The rest of the world will return to trading tomorrow. We missed them today. Volumes are well off. The three little boys that were visiting us with their mother, they fly back to Washington, D.C. this afternoon, and they were all boy. And they never stopped moving. They never stopped making noise. They never stopped getting it on amongst themselves. But they're kind of like puppy dogs. They're just kind of fun to watch and be around. Just so much going on with them and growing so quickly. It was fun to see that. Okay, last rotate up stopped at 7. So 8 to 12 is number 1. 15 to 19, cell 1. And we'll make 27.31, cell 2. Don't think we'll get up there. Last rotate in L period stopped at 29. We're at 03. So 24.28, number 1. 17 to 21 buys 1. 5 to 9 buys 2. Big play on Friday with puts, and we might see that again today. Looking at gold, got whacked again, and headed lower. 3 weeks ago, we had that $5 billion thrown at the market. We really haven't recovered from that. The inflation news out of the United States was not supportive for gold, so we put a question mark on that. So F1 looks lower. F2, double distribution. Weren't doing much this morning, but again, I just want you to take a look at that. A B, test support and or take it out. And we've got a mom, a move out of the middle. A new distribution came right out of this congestion area. Take out a low volume number, it should get to the high volume number. We did that. So you do know where the market's going before the fact, and it's just learning how to trade structure. So I've got this low right here. We're at 58.59. I've got a 2-letter ledge at 60, so it's aggressive. 59.61, sell 1. 64.66, sell 2. On the buy side, stops below 55. 53.55, buy 1. Stops below 50, 49 to 51. Now remember, this is week number 4 when we've been calling for, or week number 3. Stops below 12.50. So we've been aware that this was possible for a couple, 3, 4 weeks, and it looks like it may happen. And why do we bother making calls like that? It keeps you on the right side of the market. It keeps you thinking correctly, keeps you strategizing, bullish news, bearish news. You got to get after the shorts faster than you do the longs, and so I think it's a worthwhile exercise. I think it's an exercise you need to do. Most of us want to know the why behind something. And usually the math of a moving average is not sufficient enough to satisfy that need to know. Okay, crude oil didn't have a lot to work with today. Lower high, lower low, find a place to sell it. Fundamentals stink. but we're not getting a lot of action to the downside. So stops below 48 and a quarter. Definitely looking at a B. So leaning against 49, maybe stops above 49, sell one. Well, somewhere in this area right up. Just would like to lean against 49. 49.02 was the last rotate up. And see if we can get stops below 48.18. Then 49.50 to 75, sell 2. On the buy side, we're going to go for 48, 48 and a quarter, buy 1. May take a 50 to get in. Put a question mark there. And then 47.50, 47.75, buy 2. And looking at the euro, dollar suffered today. Inside day, trade it. I would concur. And see, right in the middle of the range, we've got a B right here. So I think we were there this morning. 45 to 55 was sell 1. Worked out pretty well for us. 70 to 80, sell 2. On the buy side, we'll play for 109 even, 109.10. Buy 1. And then 108.75 buy 2. Pretty much the same numbers we had this morning. And that'll do it for this May the 1st. As TD put, the day that the communists used to really celebrate and go all out, big parades with missiles and their latest military toys and lots of men marching, while the rest of us danced around maypoles, right? Celebrating the spring. You all have a great evening. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm out of here.